morning or good afternoon, and welcome to Tottenham Tantrum Gold, your home with classic games, classic content, and classic debate. We're doing a very short show today, short preview to the North London derby tomorrow against the Gunners. There's still no news yet if it's going to be postponed or not, but if it does break during this show, we will bring it to you first here. Joining me this morning or this afternoon are my two usual co-hosts. Down below is the man that should be in the squad. He's better than Tantrum. He is the myth. He is the genius on the ball. It's Matt Letizier's twin brother. It's my mate, Phil. How are you this morning, Phil?
Yeah, all right. Tired this morning after our long show last night, but enjoyed it. It was good. Just hard going this morning, and yeah. But no, looking forward to the weekend. Just watching the two scummers at the moment. So yeah.
Yeah. And next to me is this man needs no introduction the world over. He is so famous, even the Queen knows him. He is my mate. He is your mate. It's Coover 99 TTG. How are you, Goof?
Morning. I'm hardly Hollywood Phil though, am I?
Yeah, well, Phil's known in the Hollywood Donald Trump sort of arena.
Hang on, Donald Trump? No.
Okay. He doesn't get it.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Okay, how about his wife then? You know, in her circles, like the wives of LA. And Coover's known like as the James Bond, the 006.5. So that's how I see these two.
006.5, what a build up, huh?
You're just short, you're just 5 short of the big time. Maybe next time. Anyway, yeah, we've got a big London derby tomorrow. We've got a few people in the channel. Shall I hit them when you read them, Coof?
Yeah, go for it. Just
right.
Morning, Cody.
Good morning, Cody.
Recovered from the night last night. Well, no, different times for him entirely.
Can I just say, brilliantly done, you two, last night. An absolute brilliant show. I was watching in and out, but I'll just say, well done, Phil and Cooper. Absolutely brilliant as normal. So thank you very much for doing that last night.
No problem. Not sure about brilliant, but we got through it. Stephen Cartwright, good afternoon, boys. I know what you meant. Right, Mark Cousins, afternoon, lads. I was watching Man City and Chelsea soon. I'll watch you lot. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's kind of got an eye on the game, though, haven't we?
I rather watch Cooper and Phil myself. Great duo. Great. They're the Glenn Hoddle and Chris Waddler of TTG. Don't sing Diamond Lights with the Grant. They'll probably pull that off as well.
No. Ryan McFarland, afternoon, gents. Afternoon, mate. Good of you to join us.
And then that one for Stephen Cartwright.
Stephen Cartwright, I reckon the game will be off. It may well be, mate. We'll have to wait and see.
Can I start with you, Phil? What's your thoughts on this? Do you think it will be called off? Do you think it should have been done by now?
The whole world seems to be across against Tottenham, so who bloody knows? If you look at the rules and stuff, they've got 1, maybe 2 COVID cases, so by definition, no, they shouldn't. But you know, who knows? In the Premier League terms, we're just a tiny little club, aren't we? Almost like an inconvenience.
Yeah,
it's just very annoying. There is no way that if Arsenal were at Man City, Liverpool, or Man United today, it would even be up for discussion, let alone, a full-on meeting. It's just bull.
And Coach, same to you.
Yes, it's just the same feeling, isn't it? It's us against everybody else nowadays, isn't it?
It is.
Might help with that sort of siege mentality that likes of Sir Alex Ferguson was always talking about at Man United. Perhaps we've got the same thing now. Perhaps it'll give us a bit of unity.
Well, Phil, what's happened?
So Jack Grealish has just gone clean through, and he's received the ball from an error on the edge of the 18-yarder, and he's just slotted a shot. He's only got the keeper to beat. Oh no, the keeper saved it. I'll give him that. I thought he just sliced it wide, but Kepa's actually pulled off a
Phil, what would be a good result for us from this game, in your opinion?
Man City to win.
Like 10-0 Man City.
Yeah.
Because Chelsea are scummers. We hate them. We're not going to. Man City are going to win the league. End of. Nothing's going to stop that.
No.
I reckon even if they had the whole of their first 11 out with COVID, they'd still end up winning the league. They're just too far ahead. So you just want it to damage everyone else. You don't want Liverpool to win the league.
No.
Certainly don't want Chelsea to get anywhere close to it. So you might as well just accept that's how we do it.
We've got two good comments here from Ben. One this afternoon, lads. Last night was something. Yeah, it was something. But this one I like brilliantly. If Arsenal,
go on.
Sorry, yeah, go on, Cliff, go on.
If Arsenal get the game called off, they should pay for the travel of all fans travelling to the game, both Arsenal and Tottenham fans. It's a total disgrace and makes a mockery of the pandemic. It does, mate.
Did anyone pay the Tottenham fans' expenses for travelling all the way to Burnley? No. I know that was human nature, but, let's say it cost you 60, 70 quid round trip in petrol or train fare. Who compensates that? No one.
No one. This is where I make my point again. This isn't a fans' game anymore. It's a corporate game. It's a game for the rich and the famous and for the corporates and the business. It isn't a fans' game anymore. To be honest with you, to me that's how I feel. And I don't know if you two agree or not, but
I agree. The writing was on the wall back in the 1980s when you see these corporate boxes being put up instead of fan standing room. You could tell what was going on.
I mean, Tottenham were that for the West Ham, weren't they? They were the first ones, I think, to do that. Mind you, Tottenham were the first.
It's like Sean was saying last night. It's like supply and demand, and it's like I'm not saying I agree with it by any stretch, but if you own a business and you can sell, I don't know, 50 standing seats at a couple of quid each, or one box at like 80, 100 grand a year, why wouldn't you? But you have to build your stadiums and stuff accordingly to make sure that you can get the right people in, and the right people are the fans. The corporate box people are not cheering them on tomorrow and giving them hell and demanding anymore, are they? Anyway, good afternoon, John.
Good afternoon, John Fitzpatrick. I remember when the Super League came out and all the fans were protesting against the Super League, right? Now, this is well before Brian Daigle got involved with the Levy out, right? And Tottenham fans started to protest. You saw the Arsenal fans come out in their thousands, right? Chelsea fans come out in their thousands. There was a group of Tottenham fans outside White Hart Lane dancing. I still laugh about it now, right? Dancing around with their shoes in the air and loads of Spurs bags in their hands where they've just bought from the club shop with signs Levy out, and all they've got their merchandise they've just bought from the club.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Zoko's name. Like...
Yeah, and waving their shoes in the air. I mean, that was embarrassing. When you look at all the other clubs, how all the fans come out. Since Brian Daigle's come in, the Levy out's got more organised. They do a better job. But it was just ridiculous. I mean, the Super League, I did not agree with it. I think you guys are with me. You two probably didn't agree with it.
It was a horrible situation to be in, because it's like, you think of the rant that would have gone on. Let's say, for argument's sake, they did the top five, and then West Ham and Everton were in it, and we weren't. You kind of backed yourself into a position where you were no win. If you go in it, it's wrong because it is killing football. If you don't, you miss out on all that money, and all your best players will go to those clubs. So you're on 10 minutes. You're screwed either way. But that's the point where you maybe go to the fans, or you do a poll. I mean, I had one yesterday. How well is our club run? All about the sponsorship and everything. So I filled it in. So okay, I'm one voice, but you don't know how many millions of people that's gone to. But if they've all filled it in, then it gives them the survey results and lets them allow them to plan going forward. But we don't.
I mean, you had Daniel. Sorry, Phil.
I was just going to say, Dictator Daniel will do what Dictator Daniel will want to do, and that's half the problem. Well, the problem is way more the problem.
He said in the summer he wants to get back to our DNA and fast attracting football.
What is the DNA? When did we last play decent, attractive football? Okay, we had a bit during Poch's time, but before that, 20 years?
Birkinshaw.
Yeah, so 84 until Poch came in at what, 212, 13?
And before that, Bill Nick.
So, we had 30 years without a DNA or without a registered DNA.
Well, I suppose you could say under Redknapp as well, the football was
Oh, yeah. Okay,
yeah. But, I mean, this is my point I keep going back to. People seem to forget Bill Nick's. He was the DNA. He was Mr. Tottenham. I mean, are we forgetting all of that? We should forget about. So, right, these Leeds fans in, and I do understand where Sean is coming from.
I mean, there's got to be some progression because Bill. Whilst I would never take anything away because the guy set us up, but 60 years is a long time in any sport, any business, any industry. So times will change. But what I always look at is, have we evolved in the way that we would like? No, we haven't. I feel that we're still chasing our tail for the 60s, the 80s, all of our.
You looked at Man United under Ferguson. Everything led from him. He ran the club top to bottom. He ran the youth team. He ran. Do you know what I mean? He was everywhere around that club, and that's what it has to be now at Tottenham. One man has to do everything. Ferguson did that. Ran Man United with an iron fist.
All right, but let's say Ferguson was starting at Old Trafford today, so he's got a new job. 15th of January 2022. Is he running the club the way he did 30 years ago? I don't think he is now.
But the point I'm making is.
Sorry, Dave, what do you think? Do you think he's running it in the same way that he did 20?
The point I'm trying to make is, you look at all these great managers like Bill Nick, Alex Ferguson. They ran the club. They had a hand in everything. They wanted a player. They went out and got that player. The chairman backed the manager. You look at all the great successful sides over the years, Phil Cooper. Look at the Liverpool sides over the years. Every season, 2 or 3 new players in, 2 or 3 players out. Liverpool did that for years in the 80s. You look at Manchester United. He got rid of all the old guard, brought in the kids. Alan Hansen, you never win nothing with kids. Well, that was another 10 years of success he got. Tottenham, we're run as a business, not as a football club, and that's the bit that angers me. Everyone's quite happy with top 4 every season. Top 4 doesn't give you a trophy. The last trophy we won was the Audi Cup, which everyone seems to forget about, but it was true though.
It's not a trophy, is it?
Yeah, well, you know what I mean.
Like like winning the best looking. We've got the best looking football player in London, or the best stadium awards.
But I use that as a joke. But the last major trophy. But do you know what I mean? Something's got to shift mentally in our club for Levy to take his hands out of the football side and leave it to the football people to run. Then you might get a successful side. But as long as he's got his hands stuck into the football side, we're never going to win nothing.
But John asking, how many years did Levy know about the Super League?
I'd say for a good 5 years.
Yeah. John suggesting 10 years and the rest. Again,
Probably.
We don't know. We don't know diddly of what's going on, do we?
What's you taking it off, Cooper?
So it's all been said, really, hasn't it? It feels like we're just playing a waiting game for something monumental to happen. That shifting, ownership out, gone, or changing managers isn't going to make any difference. Apart from we'll get worse if we haven't got Conte, but nothing changes. I don't see anything changing in the future either. I mean, all this talk of the Levy and Enoch buying up the housing and the new cinema and stuff, it just reeks of long-term they're staying. I don't see that as something you do just before selling up, do you?
No.
It sounds like
planning for the future. It all in. Yeah. So are they looking at selling the club, or are they looking at selling Enoch? Because that's your other question. Because if
Right.
not,
If you want what I'm hearing is they're up to selling the club.
yeah. So you
But
transfer
ENIC,
any assets that you've got into ENIC's name, leave the
yeah,
debt
but
and all the crap that goes with it as part of the football club.
no,
And
but
then,
ENIC want to remain still. ENIC want to keep their 25% within the club, so
but
they'll still be on.
ENIC own 85% of the club.
Yeah, they own 100%.
No, they don't. They own 85%.
Yeah, and Levy works for ENIC.
Yeah.
Levy is ENIC as well, so they own 100%, but he's got 25%, and the rest is Joe Lewis, between the two of them. But they're both ENIC. He is an ENIC employee. So technically, ENIC or Trafford or the ENIC own thing, but they want to have 25%, and then the U owners come in. It's all they will control who comes.
So ENIC are looking to sell 65% of their share. So at the moment they own 85, and they want to drop to 25. So they're going to sell 65% of their share of Tottenham.
Whoever comes in will buy the controlling interest in running the club, but they will keep their bit of money in there because they're an investment company. So they'll keep so much shares in there, so they still get their investment off the club, if you know what I mean. Like they did when they were under Sugar. So that's what probably might happen.
Great comment from Mark. Look, we are mushrooms kept in the dark and fed a load of shite. There you go.
I mean, what do you see, Cooper, to that? Would you think that could happen, or do you think it'd be a complete buyout, 100%, ENIC and Levy gone completely?
I have no idea, mate. I don't know these people that we're linked with from the buyout, so I have no idea what their intention is. It could, I mean, if you look at it from the point of view, ENIC of buying up all the housing and everything, it sounds like a long-term plan, continuing to buy up properties around North London. It sounds like they want to stay, but in that case, why would they want to dilute the company at all to somebody else? I just don't get it. The only other thing is a complete buyout, but that's huge amounts of money. This new investor, apparently he's sort of lost half the value of his holdings in the last few years. So is he going to do that? Maybe it's his way of trying to get a safer investment over in the UK. Perhaps it's something to do with the Chinese element to it. Do they want to get into the Super League market? Well, not super. Yeah, eventually the Super League market, because that's where we're heading, whether we like it or not.
I was going to say, I'm going to just jump up to Ben's comment, because you're absolutely spot on. An international Super League is on its way, whether we like it or not.
Yeah,
they maybe have to do something different, but do clubs like your Man United want to be going away to Crystal Palace on a Tuesday night, or do they want to be going to Barcelona, AC Milan, and Real Madrid? I'll tell you where the money is. It ain't in Crystal Palace, and as we all know, football fans don't really count.
Yeah.
Can I just say, Mike Cousins is right. I did get that slightly wrong. So Mike Cousins is right. It's actually ENIC International Limited currently holds 85.55% of the total issued share capital of Tottenham Hotspur Club. Chairman Daniel Levy and his family own 29.4% of the share capital of ENIC International Limited, while Lewis owns 70.6%.
So he owns 30% of 85% of a $3.5 billion company.
He owns 29.4% share of ENIC International Limited.
Yeah. So he owns 29. Owns, give or take, 30% of 85% of a $3.5 billion company. So give or take, that's in the if they sell the club tomorrow, he walks away with £1 billion.
Yeah, basically.
That's the bottom line. So and he's an accountant.
Yeah.
Who's
all right. I wasn't trying to give out wrong information, Mark. I just got my figures slightly wrong, so I do apologise for that. So I'm very sorry about that. I should have checked my figures before I said anything, so I do apologise, Mark, about that.
There you go. Look at that from Ben. The Money Men want a Thursday night game between Man United and Barcelona in New York City. Can we see that coming all day?
Yeah.
Yep.
All day long.
Can I shoot you a question? If that happened, would you walk away from football?
No. Like saying, do you walk away from your children? No, you can't. It's in you. We said it last night. It's part of us. The reason we get so frustrated. I live miles from Tottenham now, so maybe I should just go and pick Man City because you know what, they're winning, they're doing well, but you can't put your heart and soul into it. You grow up with the club, you stay with the club.
You know what, Phil? You say that, but I'm getting very close to the point where I think I'm just going to go and concentrate on non-league football because it's grassroots. I enjoy it more.
I'm getting very close to going watching my local Irish side here, my local Wexford town, and watch the FAI Irish League.
Ben said they want as many tourists as humanly possible. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a money making scheme. They're not doing it for the good of the game and stuff, are they? But we're not stupid. I think they sometimes treat football fans like we're stupid. But how many times are you going to be getting on a plane and going to the Far East or somewhere to watch a game? You might try and get one at home, but again, think of the prices if we're playing your Real Madrids or your Barcelonas or your big Bayern Munichs and stuff all the time.
Yeah, it's the Spurs amusement.
Sorry, I was just Mark Cousins. I would go and watch the Oval, but they're worse than Tottenham. Jesus, they must be bad.
Stephen Cartwright saying he'd walk away as well, but he's hanging by a thread.
Yeah.
And also, people do forget we're not a public limited company. We're a private company now, so we're not in the stock exchange anymore.
Any of us forget that anymore. It's dictator Daniel is what he says goes. We can argue, we can moan, we can protest, but until it hits him where it hurts him the most, which is right between the wallet.
I tell you what, I said to think it was
that's
you,
why
Phil.
Big up to Daigle. Absolute massive shout out to him. And
Phil, I always praise Brian for what he does. You both know that I'm a big admirer for what he does.
Yep.
But I said to you, I think, Phil, was it this morning where we were just chatting generally about stuff and life and everything. I said to you, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club died when he took over. The club I love died back in 2001.
I think it took over long before that, unfortunately. I think we had a little cut in the 80s that got a little bit deeper. In the 90s it got infected and now it's cancerous.
Yeah.
Where did it start though? Where did this cancer rot start? I mean, did it start before in it, like under Scholar and Sugar?
Irving Scholar.
Yeah.
Irving Scholar was a huge problem, but as the game's changed, we've kind of almost gone, well, everyone else goes, we'll get rich investment and we'll invest in our team and we'll do all the things that you go. And Tottenham go, no, we won't do it like that. We'll do it our way. If you so it feels that they've stood still, but standing still is falling behind in a rapidly growing market.
Well, Irving Scholar paved the way for the collapse of being a football club. All those wild investment opportunities he saw, no real security behind it. So we took all these risks, nearly wrecked the club, nearly got us bankrupt. It was typical of the era where we had Thatcher in charge in the country, and it was the boom or bust sort of yuppie era where you take all these crazy risks for just a profit above everything as fast as possible. To hell with the risks. We nearly went under because of it, because of Scholar, and we've never recovered since. I mean, at the end of the day, Sugar took us over. He stabilised us and saved us. But what did he want at the end of the day? Just get a little profit out of selling on the club. He did put a lot of his money in those things he did right, but also we continued to suffer as a club because we couldn't go any higher than he was doing. He just wasn't competent enough to get the infrastructure in place to get this club where it needed to be. Then you look at Levy, you could say the infrastructure came in, We did very well for a little while, and then we just stopped at that level. As soon as we plateaued where he wanted to be in the money, in that top 4 zone, that's it. That's when all the investment dried up again because didn't need to do anymore. Which we're held back by what's put us where we were.
I mean, I'm just looking at the Premier League champions from 1992, right? And you can guarantee, I mean, the list is quite embarrassing for us. I mean, Man United, Blackburn. I mean, they were like a Leicester the year they won it. Then you had Man United, scum. Man United, scum. Man United. Then you had scum. Chelsea, and Arsenal. Then you had Man United, Chelsea, Man United, Man City, Man United, Man City, 2013-14. Chelsea, 2015-16, we finished third, where we should have won the league that season. Personally, I think we should have won the league that season. The following season, we should have won it again, but that was Chelsea. Then it's been Man City, Liverpool, Man City. So out of since 1992 when the Premier League started, we've finished third twice and runners-up once in the Premier League's history. And all the other teams I've just mentioned out, Man United and Arsenal, they won it because they've invested in the team. They've invested in players. They've continued to evolve and buy, reshape teams. We haven't done any of that. We think it's okay just to go on our merry way and do what we're doing. That proves we're not good enough. And that's down to Levy. For the last 20 years, that's down to Levy. We got lucky with Poch. We were lucky to reach the Championship final. We should have won the league against Leicester. That was our league. We lost that. We should have won the league the following season.
But if you look at that year against Leicester, we lost by about 13 points in the end.
I know.
Yeah, I'd argue we didn't lose that. We never caught them. They were always ahead all the way through the season.
Yeah.
We were in the top 4 for the whole time. We kind of surged forward. But again, all the big games. So we played Leicester where we could have gone ahead of them. We played them at home in an evening in a midweek game, and we lost 1-0.
Yeah.
And do you blame Levy for that? Don't know. Maybe not. But those players that he bought and brought through the training system couldn't beat Leicester.
It's. I think it's ridiculous. We've never really invested the team properly for as many years. Since we've never invested in the team, so we don't know how far we can go.
They have, but they've invested poorly, and there's a difference between saying you've done, and there's some obviously big, I'm just sat here now. Jack Grealish is on the ball. We tried quibbling over 4 or 5 million for him. Now the guy's worth 100 million. And it's like that's the side of it. I think Sean's probably got a point. We have invested, but we've invested nowhere near as hard as we could have, and nowhere near as effective as we could have.
How can you say we've invested when we didn't buy a player for two or three windows?
Yeah, I'm not saying we've regularly invested, but to say we haven't at all, you've only got to look at the summer when you've done your likes of Tanguy and Lo Celso and Sessegnon. But, again, it's like, is it the right players? We bought Jack Clark, but saved 4 million on buying Bruno. Again, I don't know, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but you could see that at 60 million, Bruno was worth the risk. He's banging in goals for fun in the Portuguese league, but we didn't do it. We went for Lo Celso. It was always a toss-up between the two. We went for the cheaper option.
Can I ask you also a question, Phil? I'll start with you, Cooper, and then Phil, if that's okay with you two. How do you feel now to how you felt when Conte was announced? Do you still have this? No, I'll start with Cooper. How do you feel tell me your feelings when Conte was announced to your feelings today before North London derby?
I guess in true Tottenham fashion, when it was announced, you were like, yes, the guy won't be coming in without assurances, without some investment and stuff like that. And now, yes, it's January, yes, it's slow, yes, it's hard, blah blah, boring, blah. but it doesn't feel that we're making any progress. What we're saying is we've got the world's best manager, but what we want you to do is polish a bunch of turds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cooper.
it's just totally deflating, isn't it?
Yeah.
We look forward to this is going to be a brilliant new era, and nothing's happening. It's the same old story, isn't it? All the promises in the world, marquee signing in this case, it was the manager, nothing to go with it, nothing to back it up. It's
I mean, at the moment, with how it feels it's going, they should have just gone and got Eddie Howe. He could make players slightly better than what we had, and then it would have saved them 10, 15 million a year in transfer, in wages, and we didn't need to do any of it. But they set the stall out to say, the intention by appointing Conte is, do you know what? We are a big club. We are going to compete. We've got all the foundations. We've got all the stuff. We just haven't got anything decent in there. As always, it's we bought into a dream that feels it's very quickly turning sour.
I just think it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare we haven't woken up for in 20 years, 21 years. It really is. Do you want to put a quick game on, Cooth?
Yeah, we can do that.
We're going back to the 1983-84 season. It's a North London derby. I think it's from Highbury. And it's Don Howe was manager of Arsenal, and Keith Birkinshaw in his last season manager of Tottenham Hotspur.
Right, while you're loading that cube, I'll do some of the comments. So Ben, problem for me is I'm not moving away from London anytime soon. I'm culturally, emotionally, and economically fused with the area and supporting Tottenham as part of its culture. Yeah, that's the point. I have a such and such phone and I don't like it anymore. I can go and get a different one. You can't do that with your football team. It becomes part of who you are.
Well, it's more than just that, though, isn't it? As Ben's saying, it's actually in the area. It's a part of everyday life. A lot of the community is built around what happens with the football club. It's the one thing that's drawing everybody there. It's a hub for everybody. It's the bit you look forward to, and that's why I hate the fact that we've got just pure business people taking over our club. It should be run by people that are football fans, so they understand what it's all about. Levy clearly doesn't. He is purely a businessman. He may say he supports the club. Perhaps he does like the club. I mean, he's got to have some sort of interest if he's sitting there in the stands every week, hasn't he? Most weeks.
You look at it and you think the guy's not stupid. He must see what's going on.
Yeah.
We're all football experts. We could run the club, no problem at all, because we are experts. But when you look at that, you look at our squad, you've got to look and go, is it good enough for what we think we need? And the answer to that clearly is no, because we're not winning stuff. Either that, or you have to employ a psychologist who can change the mentality of all those players. But there's more to it than that.
Phil, it's too much. They're on too much money. They don't care about the club. These players here we're watching now cared about the club. They cared about that cockerel on the badge. That meant something to them. Today it doesn't mean nothing to them. What they mean more is the 300 grand to get in a week. And I just think look at Graham Roberts there. He was one through a brick wall for Tottenham. Could you say that any of the players today do that? No. Harry Kane's head was turned back going to Man City. Would you really blame him? Would you hang on, Phil? Would you really blame him for wanting to go? No. But it all comes back to the same thing. We being run as a franchise. We're not a football club anymore. I don't recognise this football team. Keith Birkinshaw said there used to be a football club over there, and he was bloody right. And he said that in the 80s. How true was it? How true his words have come home to roost. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick to the back teeth of it. And I will continue to call out Daniel Levy as long as I've breath in my body and blood running through me. Because I think I have a right as a fan for over 40 years to have an opinion. 40 years. I went to Tottenham. Coover and me were at the same game, UEFA Cup now. UEFA Cup when we last won our European trophy. I'm sure as that game when Phil was there when we were successful. Us three have a right to say how we feel. And if Levy in fans think it's okay for our club just to be successful because we reached top 4, well, good for you. But we want more. We want trophies. And as soon as we're not winning trophies because we're not invested in the team and we're not committed to the team. And that's down to Levy, Enoch, the rest of them parasites. And sorry, Cougar. Sorry, I didn't mean to rant. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was giving thumbs up to Mark Cousins' comment.
And John Fitzpatrick at the bottom there. Could you bring that comment up there, Phil? Down the bottom. I just want to say something along that if you can. Right. He said, Dermot, what if Levy starts spending? Would you still want him gone? Yeah. If we're not successful, yeah. Of course I want it gone. I want us to win trophies. I don't care if we come second, third, or fourth. We have to come first. Bill Nitt said you've got to aim high, even higher. So at Tottenham Hotspur, you have to aim high to get what we want. We were the first team to do this. We were the first team to do that. What we're now, the first team to do nothing. So we're all quite happy with third place in the league or fourth place in the league. All qualified for the Europa League. Yippee! Not good enough. I wanted to win FA Cups. League.
Are they?
No. And if fans, Levy in fans are happy than that, then fair play to you. I'm not.
This comment, Derek's comment there.
What, the last one?
Yeah, that football isn't football anymore. It's a service nowadays with all the yellow cards and sending offs of VAR. Totally agree. So it's for me, it's not the same enjoyable spectacle it used to be.
This is football when it used to be football. I mean,
the decision is final. And all that stuff. I don't like the fact that 3 times I celebrated the other night. Yes, we got a penalty. It's going to be a goal. Yeah. Yes, it's a penalty. He's got to score this one. Yes, it's offside. And yes, probably the decisions were right. But that's football. It's nothing better, is it, as a fan, than going into work the next day and go, your team lost, but we were robbed by the ref. Now we thought we would cure all of that. Now we're just robbed by VAR.
And robbed of the moments as well.
Yeah. You score a goal and it's like you're looking over your shoulder. I always look at it as the kids and think, they open their big present on Christmas Day and they open it and they go, oh, wow, thanks, Dad, I've got a PlayStation. And then they look at you and go, can I play with it or can I use it or are you going to take it away? Because you wouldn't do that to your kids. You wouldn't do that to anybody. But in football world, that's just what we do. So
I was just laughing at the football there. I don't know who it was running through with the ball, but he wasn't getting through that defence.
No,
dropped down twice in succession. Oh dear.
But again, have you seen a trainer come on or give him any treatment? No,
that's right.
Not at all.
It is.
So, and great show. Can't wait for the match. Oh, that's not something I could sit here and say. Come on, let's smash it 4-1 for Bob Spur. Let's hope so. Big up, Truth Sets Free. Nice to see you in the chat.
Yeah. Big up to yourself, Amir Sada.
Yeah, very good, man. Hey, a couple of other guys in the chat.
I mean, it says something here. It says Bill Nick. I'm going to go back to these quotes, and he came out with some great quotes, but they were true. It says, anyone choosing whether he's a big signing or just a ground staff boy must be dedicated to the game and to the club. We must never be satisfied with his last performance and he must hate losing. That's our DNA. That's what Tottenham's good for. We don't stand for that anymore.
Not entirely our DNA, but certainly part of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
We
don't...
Sorry, go on.
It's got to a point where, it seems acceptable, very acceptable, not to win anything, to have a successful season, and we shouldn't have to we shouldn't accept that. Do you accept that, Cooper and Phil?
Nah, of course
No.
not.
Phil, would you call finishing fourth and not reaching the quarterfinals of the FA Cup and the semi-finals of the League Cup, but we've qualified for the Champions League? Would you call that a successful season, and would you be happy with that?
Would I be happy with it this season? Yes, but would I take it as success? No. It's got to be building blocks, but it feels that once you get to your quarterfinal, your semi-finals, that's the end of it. Whereas normal clubs go, no, it's not good enough. Getting to the Champions League is one thing. So you get to that level, then you build on it and you go, do you know what? Let's challenge for it. So that's your next level. You get into the quarterfinals, semi-finals, then you step it up again and go, I realistically want to be winning this because it's huge. But we don't. We go, yeah, well, we've got there now.
I will ask you to your question. Where do you think it all went wrong for us? I'll start with you, Cooper.
Well, the seeds are planted back in the 1980s, aren't they, with Irving Scholar? That's when we became the corporate entity. The thing is, at that point, we were investing enough in the team, so we were getting the benefits of it. We're enjoying some success. We're seeing some star players coming into the club, but we didn't know how much he'd undermined the club at that point until the 90s, and then we suddenly realised, my God, we're going to go bankrupt. And then you saw what all this corporate greed is doing. When it backfires, it's the death of a club. But it's carried on, like I said, with Chugga continued it. He saved us, yet then held us back for a long time when we should have been pushing forward. It's just been a succession of people, chairman since that. Although they might have a good business sense, they don't understand the football. They don't understand how it works. And in a lot of cases, you've got to say it's because perhaps their ego's too big. They don't want to relinquish the reins of control over the team affairs to somebody that knows how to do the job better. So it's been like that since the 1980s. It's only since the start of the 90s we saw it. And then introduction of the Premier League. Terrible thing as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
that was all the big money coming in to ruin the game. And as people are saying, it's a succession of things since football's become this sort of sterile, plastic sort of entity. There's no the passion, the feelings gone out of it. It's less for the crowds. It's become all corporate hospitality. You're treated like cattle at the game, shuffled into your section. Must get this merchandise. Must buy a beer at the club. The fact you can't even bring like food into the game, stuff like that. I mean, what's wrong with that? Why wouldn't you be allowed to do that? Because you've got to buy from the club. That's why. All the feelings gone out of it for me. I actually find it distasteful football nowadays. That's why I got this channel. It's just better times back then. Further you go back, the better it is. Wayne. I mean, the other bit I was going to say, Dermot, because you were saying about the Bill Nick saying about every footballer's got to be basically up for the task. But the other one is that I think goes with the DNA is the Danny Blanchflower one that I mentioned yesterday as well. And that's just about the great fallacy of the game is that it's all about winning, but it isn't. It's nothing of the kind. It's about the glory. It's about doing things with a style and flourish and beating the other lot and not waiting for them to die of boredom. I mean, that we have lost. People are accepting managers that will grind out games, and then look at their track record and say this. Well, Mourinho's a big example. People desperate to have Mourinho in because he's won everything and he wins wherever he goes. You don't do it at all costs. For me, you've got to keep this identity. This is the DNA of the club for me. It is playing with this kind of attacking flair style. You don't just win games 1-0. You've got to win massively in style. You've got to put people to the sword. You aim for, if you're 1-0 up, you go for 2-0 up. You don't see a game out by time wasting and boring people to death. You go for it. Go for the jugular all the time. We used to be able to go home from games, even if we'd even if we'd lost, if we'd thrown the kitchen sink at somebody and it was a wildly entertaining game, you'd still be talking about it. Sometimes we win games nowadays, and it's like we'll scrape a 1-0. Everybody feels like it's a loss, and yet people are still saying it's just the only thing that matters at 3 points. It isn't.
What? Just on that, Cuba, Watford. Who enjoyed the Watford game? 1-0 with a 90. Yes, it's 3 points, but if you had your time again and someone offered you a ticket, would you go to the Watford game? No, you wouldn't.
Exactly. But then something like even when we lost it, remember Bale's hat trick out in Milan? Because I certainly do, but we lost that.
Yeah, after 12 minutes, heads were on the floor. We were like rolling, but by the end, you held your head high, didn't you?
I mean, Phil.
Sorry. Just to finish off that, I was going to say it's all well and good saying it's all about the results. Winning's the only thing that matters. I think you could say that if you've got a trophy to show at the end of it. If you haven't, you're just putting yourself through a pile of shit for no reason. So I hate that attitude anyway. That it is about playing the game in the right way for me.
Yeah. Phil, how do you fix it? How do we fix this?
You need a change of philosophy at board level. That's it. And until you do that, we're going to be having this conversation for the whole of the time. The whole of the time that the board acts in the way that they do, we're going to be like this. They need a bit of investment to build the squad up, and then they need that sustainable to keep renewing and refreshing it. But it doesn't feel like it's going to happen. Yes, they made steps and they brought in the world's best manager, but again, it still feels it's like, we're asking a magician to do a magic trick with 2 hands tied behind his back. They can't do that.
Yeah. I've got a quote here, and I think it's the most famous quote in the world, and it actually sums up personally how I feel about football, how I feel about my club, Tottenham Hotspur.
Is it just Levy out?
No. And this is actually from Bill Shankly, the great Liverpool manager. For me, this is how I feel about my club. He says, some people think football is a matter of life and death. I assure you, it's much more serious than that. And that's how we feel about our club. We love our club, but it's more serious than that. It's like a second marriage to us. We invest our life into the team. We start supporting them as little children. Then we start going to games as teenagers. Then we start going as adults. And then we start bringing our children to games. And then they bring their children to games. It's a down-the-line generational thing, being a football fan. And now it isn't. It's more for people coming over on holidays. The die-hard fans are not there anymore. It's all, as Cooper said, it's all about corporate. It's all about how much money we can make. Or going to a football match now, you have to spend €200-300 because with the club shop and the travel, your tickets, buy the latest kit. I mean, I bought my first kit for a tenner, €15. My dad paid for my first Tottenham shirt, which was the 84-85 top. How much does a Tottenham shirt cost now?
70-80 quid. But
Not much change.
I guess you have the choice of whether you buy it, don't you?
Yeah, but if you got children and they want that top, right? They want it for their birthday. They want it for Christmas. It's not the top you buy. You've got to buy the whole kit. You're not going to get much change out of €120-130. It's all about money now. It's not about football. It's not about the love of the game. It's not about going there on a Saturday afternoon with your mates, have a few pints before the match, go and watch the match, and have a great time. And as Keith said, talk about it afterwards. It's all about money, And for me, football as a whole thing is dead. And I don't know if we're ever going to get the game we love back again or the club we love back again. I don't know. It might come back if Levy leaves.
I think Phil hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
The only thing that's going to change it is you get in owners who are passionate about football.
Yeah.
Until we get that, it's all going to be the same.
I mean, the Super Leagues.
Oh, sorry. Just to interrupt, just one quick time again. This ties into something I've just noticed as well. Mark Cousins is saying, "Are you sure you got the right game with 2-0 down?"
Yeah, we are now.
Isn't this 3-0?
No, the first. Yeah.
I've got a feeling we've done a Dermot this morning. You picked this game out, mate.
I know.
Dermot tends to pick out where we lose, doesn't he? I'm just wondering if this is the 3-2 game I'm thinking of.
Yeah, maybe.
It might be.
I mean, Phil's hit it on the head this morning. I mean, you two know how much I love Tottenham, how much I love my club. You both know that as well as anything.
Nice one, Stevie Archibald.
But I'm getting to the point. I'm sick to death of this. It drains you. You know, there's no enjoyment. You think, oh great, got North London derby tonight. We're gonna win, and then you see you pick Galini, and you pick Wiggs and Ali and.
I mean, let's start with who's confident we're going to win tomorrow. Who?
No.
Dan?
I think we'll get a draw.
You know, against the depleted, poor Arsenal side, and
I've got a bit of breaking news on that, Phil. Actually, that you brought that in very well done, sir. See, telepathically thinking. The Premier League held a meeting this morning. Hang on, I just need to get it up.
That's a real bad choice of phrase, Dan.
I know. I've just realised what I've just said. Sorry. Right. The Premier League held a meeting this morning following Arsenal's opponent request. The league wants to avoid any announcement during matches being played.
Oh, what a goal, Mr. De Bruyne! He is just
right. What do you say? What do you say to that, guys? To that announcement? Do you think it's
the meeting shouldn't even? We covered this at the start. The meeting shouldn't even be happening, let alone under discussion.
Well, look, it's been held, and that's what do you say for what they've said? The Premier League.
What? I mean, sorry, you lost me for a minute there.
Right.
Well, they've made a decision on it, have they?
The Premier League have held a meeting this morning following Arsenal's postponement request. The league wants to avoid any announcements during matches being played.
Well, how the hell does that make a difference to any other travelling Arsenal Tottenham fans from around the world, whether or not Man City's playing or not? So what have we got? A small window between 2:20 and 3 o'clock before we make the announcement?
Probably. I think it's a stupid announcement. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't. It should reject it straight away anyway.
We're now 3-1 down in this game, so
yeah.
This is like a 5-1 loss or something, Dermot.
I don't know. I've never watched this game.
Right, okay, mate. I'll just go you through the process with you. Look at the match, find the match, then wind it on to the end so you know what the score is and decide if it's worth something you want to put on.
I mean, can we possibly, tomorrow watch the 7-0 defeat at Anfield? Because, I really want to reminisce on that.
I've got an 8-0 loss away to Colne in the Inter-Toto Cup.
Well, we're going to put that on.
Can we have that then? I feel like we're missing out when Tottenham keep winning.
You taking the piss?
Yep.
Yeah, I know he is. It's a good job. It's a good job. It's a good job we take everything as a joke.
Hang on, here we go.
Yeah.
I think I do remember this game now.
Yeah. Were you in the crowd there, Keith?
Nah.
Throwing your flat cap in the air?
Nah, I didn't get to too many away games in North London Derby, unfortunately. I got to the two I'm most happy to go to though. 2 Graham Roberts incidents on back-to-back New Year's Day matches. Splatting Charlie Nicholas into the crowd one of the games, and the other one's just given up. We score a goal, and Roberts just runs past all the Arsenal posh boxes and stuff, and he's giving them the two fingers as he's trotting by casually. It's just brilliant little moments.
I love with all the police there trying to stop the Tottenham fans from running onto the pitch. Like that was going to stop them.
Truth sets you free. Loyalty is easy to see and feel. It's energy. Levy uses loyalty against everyone. He knows they are supporters for life.
Yeah.
They won't change teams. Actually, is his name Levy or Levy? Because maybe he is. He's permanently trying to levy. Just a point.
Yeah, it's Levy, I think. Leave. You get it? Levy, leave.
If only
Just
you'd
leave.
Levy, yeah.
Leave.
Yeah.
Please, Levy.
Leave, levy, either way.
Yeah.
You know, make yourself chairman of the PLC, not of the football.
See, if we were a PLC club, I think I'm right in saying that members could have voted against the board of no confidence. Am I right in that? If we were,
But
see,
again,
they're
it's very
very
difficult to oust someone that owns a third of the investment. The
But
only
they're
one that's
very-
really going to be able to remove him is Joe Lewis, and if they're lifelong good buddies and friends and stuff, he's not going to do that because he's doing the instructions, which is make us more profitable, make us some money, make us more valuable. Levy, his PDR or his end of year review is going to go, yeah, bought the club for 22 million, now it's worth 3.5 billion. Tick. Have we made a profit last season? Yeah, we made 100 million because of such and such. Tick. You got nothing to fire him on. You got nothing to go with until a football person comes in and goes, let's talk about your success on the pitch.
It's like watching Family Fortunes. Like we've asked 100 people. How many people said that Tottenham are a great successful club? They'd probably go like,
2.
I wouldn't even say that. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's very, you look back at these days and you're jealous. I feel sorry for the young fans today. I really do. I've always said it. We've seen Tottenham successful. But yeah, I agree with Graham here. I love my club with passion, but Levy and Lewis have sucked my passion away. Exactly. That's spot on.
It's kind of like Levy's orders. It reminds me. You remember the old classic film Alien?
Yeah.
When the Sigourney Weavers and well, is it Sigourney Weaver? Somebody's talking to the computer mother, and it's got the directives from the company, and it's like, it's ensure growth of the company and develop properties outside the ground. All other considerations secondary. Team expendable. It just strikes me as that. It's just absolutely no CAD. So as Phil said, you just get his directives are done. Just increase the profit for the owners. Nothing else matters. The team really doesn't matter. It's just a little bit of advertising for them. It's just a way of getting the name associated with people, so they can get the business side done. Makes you sick, doesn't it?
It does make you sick.
So does that result as well? 3-2 lost to Scum on the Dermot. You're sacked. You're not picking matches.
You're not. Yeah, you're out.
Yeah.
You have one job to do: find a match we win.
Oh dear! All right, I'm turning that off.
See, it says at the bottom, you must hate losing. We lost. We hate it. I don't care whether it's yesterday or last month. And then
I hate leaving. Does that say anything?
I suppose, on the other hand, we do want to try and show as many matches as possible. Yeah. So, well done, Dermot. That's got us in the mood for the North London derby.
Yeah. At least we set ourselves up ready for tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I apologise, guys. Sorry. I apologise. I should have checked the game.
Mark wants to know if you're on the pop already. Mark?
No,
yes,
I'm not.
He is. Yes,
no, I'm
he
not.
is.
Yeah.
Phil, I'm not. I'm just really... I'm really pissed off with. It's got to me, this with Levy and everything. It really has upset me.
Been coming for 20 years and it's still going on, so I wouldn't lose too much sleep over it at the moment. Sometimes you might just have to accept.
I'm upset that the way my club is at the moment, it's not the club I knew or the club I loved. It's just
Good afternoon, Carl.
Yeah.
Are you all tired? Yeah. Yeah, we are. But do you know what? We're still here.
I got 2 hours sleep. I went to sleep at 4 and woke up at 6:30, I think, this morning. And I've been up since then.
Let's get some rest in later on today, mate.
No, I've got a busy day. I've got more stuff to do after this. I've got to sort out these headphones and stop the noise on the channel so everyone doesn't think that I'm working at an airport. Hang on. Ryanair's just lifted off. Sorry, it's going to Spain. Sorry, so it's a plane there lifted off. I like Wayne Bonner. I like him. He's backing me up. Wayne Bonner's backing me up.
Dermot only picked that match to give the scum false hope. Yeah,
That's it.
Derek said, great stream last night, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
I don't know what happens on those streams. They just happen, don't they? I
was turn up, and me last night wasn't there at the start, but we literally, Cooper and I logged on at about 5:02, and we're like, we got a plan for the show? No. Should we do something funny? Might as well. Should we go live? Yep. That was it. That was it.
I think at the end you couldn't hear me. Well, I was laughing at your dinosaurs.
Oh yeah.
They reminded me of Enoch and Levy.
We were playing top trumps.
Yeah. And Graham says at the bottom there, Dermot, I feel the same. Yeah. I'm sure you and plenty of other Tottenham fans feel the same.
There is just a horrible mood around the club at the moment, isn't it? It's just totally deflated. Don't feel like we're getting anywhere.
And we should be looking forward to games like tomorrow, but I've been interested to know. I'm not going to ask the question now, but for you two, are you looking forward to tomorrow, Coov?
No, dreading it.
Yeah, you looking forward to it, Dan?
I'm looking forward to doing the stream and watching it.
Are you looking forward to the game?
Not to the game, no, but I'm looking forward to it, watching it with my mates. That's what I'm looking forward to, and watching it with people on here. That's what I'm looking forward to, but not the game, no. Because I'm looking forward to.
We could have a groan along, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Phil's reaction because apparently I was at an appointment and I got a nurse watches this channel. She has it on. They had it on in the TV in the area where they were doing everything. Told Coover about this, and one of the nurses apparently fancies Coover because they think he's a bit of all right. So told Coover all this. He's all happy. I haven't told Phil this bit yet. Phil's got a Myra's in the same hospital as well.
Boo! Boo! It's all about Coover.
Yeah, I'm two Australians like you, Coover, right, and 2 Irish birds like you, Phil.
Right, damn it, we're on our way over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stag night starts soon.
I haven't got the Pope-mobile ready for Coover. I'm still waiting for a comeback from the Vatican City.
You just have to be subtle when you next go in, when you start taking pictures, and just be like, look, we need to discuss you. You're great material for our Friday night show.
And also on Monday, I am delighted to announce we have a bit of sponsorship on our channel, and we will be, it's from a local person I know in where I live, and he's quite happy to do a month sponsorship of our channel. So as from Monday, we will be promoting his company. I'm over the moon with that, and I know the boys are as well. So
give him a little big up now, Dermot.
He's a local River Chapel pharmacy in River Chapel in Gorey in County Wexford. So if anyone's coming into Gorey and you're going to River Chapel, you need anything for there, like anything to do with headaches or anything to do. He does everything there. It's River Chapel Pharmacy, and is just up by the church in River Chapel. So go there for all your essential appliances, like stuff you need for headaches or bath stuff or everything you need, like in any chemist. It's River Chapel Pharmacy in River Chapel in Gorey, County Wexford. So I haven't done that well. I know I haven't. I
I'm
admit
just
that.
thinking when you're like anything you need from a chemist, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
I know what
yeah,
you were
baby,
thinking. You'd do.
I
It's
know.
sod.
I was also thinking, if you need something for a headache, that ties in well with being on the
Yeah.
Spurs channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll do proper plugs as from Monday. So the man who owns it's called Ender. He's a very nice man, and he's been looking after me and my family for the last say 10 years. I get all my medication from him and everything we want from him. So big up Ender. And as for Monday, we'll probably plug the his pharmacy, but he's
Oh, hang on,
sponsoring
hang
us
on,
now.
hang on, hang on. I got breaking news from Alistair Gold.
Yeah.
Understand that the Spurs players and staff at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium have been informed that tomorrow's North London game against Arsenal is off. The Premier League is set to announce their decision shortly.
Oh,
Takes the piss, doesn't it?
it does. It's like the Zanya Gate all over again, isn't it?
If it was us, we'd probably get thrown out of the competition.
Should we watch? Should we, if that game's on, should we put the 8-0 into Toto Cup game on for a laugh?
What now? I can drag it up. Just we've got some real quality on show. That Alan Pardew and who was, I think Andy Booth was there as well.
Do you know that quiz? Do you know that quiz we wanted to do with Dave Harris and Jack? I think we should do that tomorrow. Actually, there's no game.
That's too short a notice.
Yeah,
mate.
I know. Absolute disgust. Well, we're going to have to do something tomorrow. If we are going to do a stream tomorrow, we'll announce it. If we are not, I don't know what we're doing now.
There won't be a lot to do if there's no Tottenham, is there?
We could just have a picture of the centre circle and do a spot the ball competition.
Yeah.
And everybody guesses the dot.
I tell you what we can do. We can do spot Tanguy going into a McDonald's. Put McDonald's up and just spot the Tanguy. That's sort of deflating now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is anybody actually surprised?
No.
I'm not.
Can I just say you heard it here first on TTG. We broke it first. We are the channel that broke the news from my roving reporter Phil Lattis. And I was looking forward to Ben's halftime report tomorrow from the stadium. I was actually really looking forward to that.
Send him anyway. He'll be nice and quiet.
I want Brian Daigle to do his reports from the training ground when he's down there protesting. That'd be a good one.
Oh, well, something annoying that isn't actually Levy's fault this time, then.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Right, this is what... this is from the Spurs web. Arsenal have one COVID case, same as Tottenham. Arsenal have 3 to 4 main injuries, same as Tottenham. Arsenal just simply didn't want to play us. It's not our fault. They loaned out 2 players during a busy January transfer and an AFCON. This is an absolute joke. It is. What have you lads watched any of the AFCON actually? Just out of general interest.
Yeah, a little bit. Watched the ridiculous refereeing the other night with the blowing up on the 85th minute, and then
I have a funny feeling that has something to do in regular betting there.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I did find on YouTube the full match by 5-1 when we beat Chelsea 5-1 in 2001 in the League Cup. I found that full game the other night. Actually watched it.
Yeah, there's a few games about we couldn't find, but we need to be careful with copyright situation, don't we? Because
I would love to play the 5-1 win in the League Cup semi-final as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to get us a load of early Premier League footage, but no go on that.
Can I just actually confirm that breaking news? Tottenham versus Arsenal has been postponed.
That's only coming from Alistair Gold. There's
it's just actually come up again now, Phil. There was another one. Where have I read that? I've actually just had a text as well from a friend of mine. He's saying it's been postponed.
Nothing on Sky Sports yet.
No, well, I know I said last night that I had somebody telling me from that A source from within Tottenham told me that the game was called off, so we did break it last night. This just confirmed it, but Phil confirmed it this morning, and Phil was spot on. So well done, Phil. You're top on the news there, sir. Give yourself a pat on the back. You know, this is how you do the news, Sky, and this is Sky Sports News. Quick talk and transfer window. Been a busy one, hasn't it?
Yeah, just not for us.
Yeah.
If you support Newcastle or Aston Villa,
or just about anybody else.
I'm really disappointed we didn't go for Coutinho. Do you know that? I think he would have been great. He would have been a player to fix the problem in the middle of the park for now.
Would have been something at least.
Yeah.
I would have preferred other options, but I mean, I certainly would have taken him instead of doing nothing.
Yeah.
But
Phil,
we might get a Adama Traore though.
Yeah.
Well, again, the latest on that is that there's been no contact between Adama and Tottenham.
No,
There's a surprise, isn't it?
Can I confirm that that is true? There has not been one bit of talk. Do you know the players you announced, Phil, that were on free contracts at the end of the season?
Yeah.
Right. I want to play devil's advocate here, right? Right. Kuva, you're Daniel Levy. And Phil, you're Paratici. No, you're Conte. So
Kuva, get the hang on. Our channel. We don't want you here anymore. Get out.
Luke Kuva, you're Conte, right? And you're Paratici, right? Right. You're sitting down and you've got a list of these players that Phil has announced over the last few streams. Who's free? Who would you go for? So just pretend, just role play that you're Conte and Paratici. How would that conversation go?
If this is happening, then you've got to be Levy.
Why?
Well, because I can't do it without Levy.
I'm Steve Hitchen.
Well, go and make the
then.
Okay. What are you for, mate?
But seriously, who would you go for if you were them two? Would you be sitting down thinking, yes, try to bring in? If they're out of contract.
Dybala, Kessie, Brozovic.
Well, I would be saying, give me some players. Phil would be saying, I'm trying to, and Levy would be saying, nah, there's no money.
Yeah.
That's it. Pick out free transfers because that's all we'll get, all loans.
Yeah.
Phil says Dybala, Kessié and Brozovic. Yes, please. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd like all of those. Levy, can we have them?
Yes, of course you can. There's 300 million for you.
You're not trying very hard here, are you, Dermot? What is this, fantasy Levy time?
Yeah. No, you can't have any players. I'm not spending any freaking money. Conte, I resign. I can see him walking out the 1st of February. Breaking news. Conte walks from Tottenham.
I don't think he'll go yet. He's only been there 2 months. If he walks out in 2 months, it says more about, at this point, it says more about him than the club. But, we still don't know what's going on in this window. We don't know if his request, he can't get who he wants. We just don't know. We don't know diddly. We're all putting 2 and 2 together. Yeah. And
do you find January's a difficult month anyway to buy players?
Well,
it's harder, but Newcastle and Aston Villa have proved that it's a piece of piss if you do it properly.
Yeah. Strange things like go to a club, say, I would like this player, here's some money. Mm-hmm. It works. It really works. I mean, if you give people what they're actually asking for, they will sell them. But how often do you go to a club?
Harry Kane is not for sale, but what would you do if someone came in, if Man City came in tonight and went, we'll give you 250 million for Harry Kane? What are you going to say? Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
Harry, pack your bags.
Yeah. If they come in and offer 75 million, what are you going to say? Not a cat and hell's chance.
No, thanks. No.
Do you know what's pissing me off about tomorrow, right? Arsenal have a game on Tuesday against Liverpool in the League Cup. They're not asking for that to be cancelled, aren't they?
Well, not yet, they're not. But, what happens if that goes ahead now?
Yeah. It's like the Premier League or anti-Tottenham.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're one of that big pile of clubs that just don't matter to them. Unless you're Liverpool, Chelsea, Man
Which is
City.
Interesting because it's the big game of the weekend, isn't it, on Sky? You know, you obviously got Man City, Chelsea now, which is just about to finish.
What's the score on that one, Phil? By the way, sorry.
Still 1-0.
To who?
Man City. De Bruyne.
Oh, I haven't got it on, so I'm not watching it. So
they've been so dominant. It's untrue. You know, Chelsea.
Do you know who I feel sorry for? And Philip Brady's just said on the Irish Hotspur WhatsApp group, I feel sorry for the fans that have come from abroad for this game tomorrow.
Yeah, no kidding.
How many fans that have come from Ireland and USA and all that are in hotels now? Do you know? I suppose to get a day around London tomorrow down the West End.
Who should compensate them for that? The Premier League or Arsenal? Or Tottenham?
Arsenal.
No, I mean, I've done this one before. I always think there should be, with the Premier League making so much bloody money, there should be a fund in place to reimburse fans when something like this gets called off. Like, you know, just the day before the match or even hours before the match, they've got to have something in place because fans are going out of their way and time and money involved just to get to watch a bloody game. Called off last minute's the worst.
It is.
Yeah.
And
Man City, game's finished. Man City have won, so they're way ahead of.
How many games are they unbeaten now, Phil? There must be, 10 or 11 now?
Don't know, but it was a great goal as well by De Bruyne.
Yeah.
But
they've won a lot in a row now, haven't they?
Yeah.
Joe 27 here with a good quote. He said, "Wonder if Wednesday's game against Leicester will go ahead. I think they have COVID cases, some players missing." That actually is a very good point, but we haven't heard anything about that yet.
I'm still ever hopeful that it's not going to happen because there is still nothing on Sky Sports yet. Never know. All right, so Man City now are 13 points ahead of Chelsea with a plus 13 goal difference. If Liverpool win their 2 games in hand, they'll still be 8 points behind Man City. So anyone thinking this league is open, it ain't.
I think it's back between second and third and fourth.
Man City have won 18 games, Chelsea and Liverpool 12, and we're 10. So we're actually not too far off the Chelseas. No. But again, they've lost 2 games this season, Man City. So I don't know who the second one was. They obviously lost to us. Who else did they lose to this season?
Yeah.
Can't remember now.
I'm just on the Tottenham Hotspur official website. There's nothing on there yet. Yeah. It's just broken Sky Sports news. Premier League agrees to Arsenal request to postpone the North London derby. So it's now been officially confirmed. Spurs were angry at Arsenal's postponement request and believe there is no COVID outbreak at Arsenal. Gunners have hosted players missing due to COVID injuries, suspensions, and AFCON. Gary Neville and Jamie Redknapp says the Premier League should force teams to play. I agree with them.
I get it if it's COVID related because you can't help that. The rest of it is just unfortunate.
Yeah. But the North London derby is now postponed. That is now official breaking news on Sky Sports News. Does that come up on your phone now, Phil?
Yeah, it's just literally
just asking you to double confirm that. There was nothing on the Spurs website either, by the way, because I just checked that.
Premier League agrees to Arsenal's request.
Yeah.
What about Tottenham's request to keep the game going?
Yeah, I like this one from Spurs Web. It's brilliant. Hang on. It's a letter from a fan to the Premier League, and it goes like this. This is brilliant. Hi Premier League, can we have all our games postponed until we sign a few players and have Son, Romero, and Dyer fully fit, please?
Yeah, I suppose that's the only positive. Is the likelihood is Dyer, Romero, and Son might be back. So is it in their best interest? But either way, I'm just done with it. It's so frigging annoying.
Big up Joe 2027. Thank you for the kind words, sir. He just said big up to the panel. The Premier League are against it. I mean, how do you feel, guys? Are you deflated now? Or are you relieved it's not happening?
If I'm totally honest, I just don't give a shit about things at the moment. Nothing's happening.
Do you enjoy watching the older days Coover on here. Do you get more excitement from
course I
watching
do.
the older game? No, I
do.
don't mean that. I don't mean like that. I mean, do you get that passion that you had back again when you watch these old matches, but you don't get them now watching today's teams? That's what I was trying to probably get at.
Absolutely. Tackles flying in left, right, and centre. It's brilliant. I love it. It used to be a contact sport. Now it's like a roll around the floor. If you get clipped by somebody, a floating Rizzler falls out from the ground, and somebody trips over it, and it's like they've broken their leg.
I think I was looking forward to tomorrow's game, but I think to put to bed the game on the other night, I think to rarely.
And now our next game is away to Chelsea.
Yeah. Well, we don't know. The Leicester game's not to Thursday. Was it Wednesday or Thursday, that game?
Wednesday.
Yeah. Apparently, I've got another bit of more breaking news on that. Breaking news about the postponement. I'll get it for you now. This is from where is it now? This is from We Are Tottenham TV. They've retweeted this. Arsenal's circumstances might technically fit the new postponement criteria, but morally it's a scandal that teams can duck out of a game with 24 hours notice on one case of COVID. Shows complete contempt for the fans and the opponents. And that's from Jack Pitbrook. I think he's at the Athletic UK. Absolutely spot on, I think, with that quote. Absolutely spot on. Shows complete contempt for us. Definitely for the fans, and shows disrespect to us as a club. I mean, they're not a proper North London club anyway, so we should piss off back to South London, where they came from. You know, should help them move. Right, I think we're going to call it a quit there. I don't think we're coming. Are we back on later? I don't think we will, are we?
No.
Well, we're going to.
It's hardly any point at the moment, is there?
No. Well, we've got a few things to sort out in the back room. We're sorting out a new intro and bits and pieces. We'll get that done today. But I don't know if we're doing anything tomorrow, are we?
Well, not now, no.
Well, it isn't going to be showing the game, that's for sure.
No, we might show a big match to cheer everyone up.
See if we can find something a bit cheerful from the archives.
I think I tell you, I'd love the 19. If we can show the 62 Cup final, or to show the 60. We should show the 61 Cup final again. That's Super Spurs side.
So I'm just reading Ellie's comment in the Irish Hotspur, not for broadcastable, but
I'm going to read it now. Hang on.
Have you seen it, Cove?
No, I haven't looked at it yet. I must admit.
Okay, can I just? Where is it? Come on,
I'm just reading it.
Big up, Ellie. Right.
It's basically bleep 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 bleep, and then she goes. Then you go all swear words in my vocabulary. Yeah, good up, Ellie. Out that hurt. Right, I've just hit you, leaving the head. Right, well, thank you everyone for watching this morning. We apologise we had to bring you that breaking news, but can I just say big up, Phil, with the first on the spot there, sir. And well, thank you very much for everyone that's joined in this morning. Please like, subscribe.
Have we gone through all the comments?
No, there's a few more there.
Should we just finish them off?
Okay. I'll just hit them. I'll hit them and you can read them there.
Big up the panel, by the way, says Joe 27. Thank you, mate. Graham saying Dermot, that game not till Thursday.
Is it Thursday or Wednesday, Phil?
No, it's Wednesday. They're advertising it on BT Sport.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Right. Joe 27. I reckon our next game will be next Sunday against Chelsea. I think you might be right.
Yeah, I think so. I've got a week without Tottenham.
Premier League is against us. They would have made us play it if it was us. Yeah. I agree. They would have.
Definitely. All right.
And then if we didn't play it, if we followed guidelines, we'd get fined and dot points probably.
It's like lasagna gate all over again, isn't it, guys? Basically.
not really the same, but
But-
it's all in the same sort of
Yeah,
bracket,
bracket.
isn't it? It's
Yeah.
stuff that happens to us that doesn't seem to happen to other
Yeah.
clubs. Truth sets free. Glorious season again for Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
London derby's off, people. Yes, it is.
Yeah. It is.
Joe saying, you guys on the panel, you reckon clubs will start doing this now when they're missing their best players? So
Yeah.
obvious way to thing to do now, isn't it?
Right. I'm bringing you the new Tottenham. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Live football.
I'll keep it there, Phil.
Yeah.
Who's playing? Who's watching? Who's playing, Phil?
The Blues and the Reds.
Come on,
I'm on the. Come on, the Blues.
Oh, he's in. He's going to score.
Yeah.
Seen a goal. You've even seen a goal. Now that is broadcasting genius. You heard it here first, guys.
I tell you what, TTG at its very best.
I like that.
I do too.
Seeing with red shirts on and they losing instantly. Love it.
The blue and white.
Wayne Bonner said 62 cup final was better. Pissed off about tomorrow. I actually had a bloody ticket. Sorry,
Wayne,
mate.
I'm
Sorry,
so
mate.
sorry. We'll come back here and we'll cheer you up tomorrow with a big game.
Stevie Fraser, big yourselves up. Disgusted with the scum decision. Hope you all have a good day. Yeah, you too, mate.
Yeah, you too,
mate.
Bud.
Stevie Fraser, come on the Blues. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
We'll have another look. No, sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway.
all I'm going to say is, look, we're all Spurs fans at the end of the day at heart. We all love our club, no matter what we go through. We're all here for the Cockerel. I want to thank Coover brilliantly again. I want to thank Phil being a genius again. Look, we love bringing you football on this channel. We're three fans and it's made for the fans. And thank you everyone who's please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell and share. And look,
make a double important hit in the notification bell, because if we do decide to sort of come on impromptu with a bit of something to cheer us up a bit of fun, you don't miss it, because we don't always advertise well in advance.
But also I want to thank everyone, but we're trying to get to 300 before the end of January, so let's get there. Come on, let's make it happen. And also for everybody, and not just get the right thing, is you'll never beat the Irish, but also come on, you Spurs.
And Levy out.
Yeah. Phil, anything to say?
Nothing.
We leave it on that one. You'll never beat the Irish.